And now it's time for my 2024 predictions as to whether upcoming films for 2024 are going to be a top, a great movie loved by audiences and the box office, a flop, which means I liked it, but either the box office didn't like it or the audience didn't like it, but I still liked it, or a mop, which means I hated it so much I want to fight the filmmakers with the dirty mop. Let's begin. I don't like the fact that they tried to hide the fact it was a musical in order to gather a larger audience, and I think it's already flopping before it's even hit theaters. You done left a bad taste in everybody's mouth by lying. I think it's gonna flop, but also probably a mop. Also, I'm gonna say it. A book turned into a movie, turned into a musical, turned into a movie musical sounds like a joke. Argyle, which I think technically is basically just the Lost City, but it's got a kitty, and I'm here for it. I think it's going to be a flop. I think I'm going to like it. I think the general audience is going to like it, but I don't think the critics are going to like it. Madam Web is an iffy considering Marvel isn't doing so hot right now. However, Dakota Johnson is in it, and I love Dakota Johnson. Possible flop. Dune 2 will top. Everybody's been waiting for it, and yes, it got pushed back because of the strikes. However, it was just that right amount of time of pushback that it's just built more anticipation. Also, the picture on here looks like a butthole. I feel like the preview for Imaginary told the entire story. I don't think this is going to be good, but it's a horror and it's Blumhouse. I'm going to be there. But I'm calling it now as a mop. I refuse to believe this will be anything but a top. This is one of the only series where they just progressively get better. We're pandas. We don't take stairs. If I had to have something tattooed on my forehead, it would probably be that. So Mark Wahlberg might not be everybody's favorite person, but his movies generally do really well. And have no fear because I'm going to go see Arthur the King to make sure the dog doesn't die so that I can tell you. So as long as the dog lives, I think it's going to be a top. If the dog dies, it's an automatic mop. I liked the last one. I think it'll top. Mickey 17. It's got the director from Parasite, and it's got Robert Pattinson. I mean, that sounds like a top to me. It doesn't sound like my genre, but I have a distinct feeling that if it goes well, this will be Robert Pattinson's award-winning season. Give that man a damn chance. I think I grabbed the wrong poster for Godzilla vs. Kong. However, there is a new one coming out. But I think it's going to go one of two ways. Either people are very excited for Godzilla now that Godzilla Minus One has come out, or Godzilla Minus One has set such high expectations for Godzilla that nobody's going to want to go see this. I have no personal opinion yet because I haven't seen Godzilla Minus One, but I have seen these and they were like, okay at best. So either a top or a flop. Challengers, I can't tell if it's supposed to be Oscar bait or if this is like one of those romantic comedy kind of things. But Zendaya is in it, so it's an automatic top. I already don't like people's attitudes with this movie coming, and I don't think this is going to end well. This is a mop for me because we decided to make a movie to antagonize people who are already scared. I didn't feel one way or another about the Fall Guy till I found out it's from the same guy who made Bullet Train, and I laughed my ass off in Bullet Train, so I'm feeling top. I can feel it in my bones if it's a top. Okay, so the thing about Furiosa, I'm sure it's gonna top. However, for me personally, it's not going to be as good as the Mad Max Fury Road because the first time I saw the preview for Fury Road was right before Slipknot went on and it just added to its brilliance. And so now I find myself holding Furiosa to too high of a standard. So putting my general feelings aside, I'm going to say it'll top with everybody. But probably me. I don't know, top probably. Like, Planet of the Apes does well, but I feel like it's a very niche group of people who really like these Planet of the Apes movies. I've personally never seen any of the Bad Boys. However, my dad had like the collector set. And so if nobody else is going to be excited, at least we know Dad's will be. I'm going to say it's a top though. I'm already planning to cry. Top. So A Quiet Place, I'm sure it's going to be a top for everybody else. However, I really dislike the Quiet Place franchise. Hear me out, and this is my beef. I understand what happened to the little boy at the beginning of the first one. I get it. However, you have these big scary alien monsters that are eating you if you make noise. I think they're eating them. Either way, you're dead. You're dead. You are gone from this earth. I'm not saying don't have sex even in a dystopian nightmare. But like, there's nobody around you. The shops are vacant. There's Plan B. There are Durex condoms. There's dental dams, even though dental dams don't prevent pregnancy, but you get my point. You could literally walk behind a pharmacy, and there's gonna be Yaz, NuvaRing, what is that one? your variety of birth controls. Why did we choose to have a baby during all this? Babies cry. It's literally their main form of communication. I'll get off my soapbox now. So the thing about Twisters, I think it's going to make a lot of money at the box office. However, I don't think anybody's actually going to like it. And only because, and this is what I read as of yesterday, it's supposed to be a standalone film. It's not meant to be a sequel or a prequel or a reboot or any of that. According to the director guy, it's a standalone film, and I don't know if a lot of people know that. And if the soundtrack sucks, it's going to be an automatic mop for me. Smash. Did y'all know Eli Roth was making the Borderlands movie? I've never played Borderlands in my life, but I'll go see this. Flop? But only because I feel like Borderlands is going to be a very niche movie to see. Okay, so here's my confusion with Kraven the Hunter. I feel like it's been pushed back for like 3 years. Like, I know it got pushed back because of the SAG strike and all that. But I feel like I've been seeing the commercials for it since like 2021, or I could be crazy. But I hear the thirst is real, so maybe top. I'm going with top, and I'm going with the merchandise being insane. Is it really a recession if we don't have a new Transformers movie? But this one's like all animated, so I don't know how this is going to work out. Like, I don't know where this one fits because it kind of looks like the new Ninja Turtles movie. So unreadable. Somebody said Joker Folie à Deux is going to be a musical, and if it is, I'm going to be pissed. I like musicals. I don't want this to be a musical. Okay, the first one was good. I enjoy a talkie. However, I was slightly uncomfortable when I was sitting in the theater and the lady in front of me had her 4-year-old that had a baby doll and chalky milk, and right as Robert De Niro's face is getting, splutted, she yells, "Cow say moo!" I'm pretty certain this is gonna flop because apparently most people didn't like Joker. And if it turns out to be a musical and we didn't know, it's going to be a mop. Okay, this is strictly speaking for the people who actually love this franchise. It'll top. I, however, have no interest in watching it. The only scene I have seen out of this is when the teaser for Christmas, but also where he's already fucked up the girl and he goes back for the room for a comedically long time and comes back with the bleach and the salt, and that's all I needed to see. So top for the group, unrateable for me. I'm not entirely certain how you make a sequel to Gladiator, but I'm here for it. Also, I loved the original Gladiator. That's gonna be probably a flop. I think I'm gonna like it. I don't think anybody else is gonna like it. Wicked, Part 1. Okay, but people pay for a Broadway show and go see Wicked from beginning to end without needing it split into parts, so I don't understand why I need 2 parts to Wicked. Unless you count intermission, which, like, bring intermission back to movies, but beside the point. I think it'll flop, mostly because I don't think people are on board with Ariana Grande being in this. And we're not even touching on the musical part because everybody knows Wicked is a musical. I just hope after this one, John M. Chu is going back to make the Crazy Rich Asian sequel because I need China Rich Girlfriend. So my thought is flop. I didn't know anybody asked for this. This is either going to go really, really good or really, really bad. So 50-50. All I'm saying is if you're going to make a gothic horror movie, I want a gothic horror soundtrack. Think Queen of the Damned. And I'm calling it now. Everybody's going to be simping for Nosferatu. It's going to be like a Tumblr thing. You know how everybody was in love with the Babadook? There you go. Also, I think the other half of this audience is just going to go to Nosferatu because of the SpongeBob reference. Watch it be a whole ass trend.